and welcome Aisute as the guest for this podcast today on the OBearry podcast. We're going to talk
I'm
about
so glad to be here.
yeah, we have a lot to discuss. It's I'm excited. You're one of those people that I've just been longing to talk more to. I've just
Me
been
too.
curious to learn more about you, who you are, because I had so many times that I've just enjoyed your stream, and we've been hanging out in each
Thank you.
other's streams and in other people's streams, and I always felt like you have been this good-hearted druid of light, champion of light, and
Oh my
and
god.
like and like a really like is nice. I don't know. You've been this motherly beacon of light for some, in a way. I don't know how
Oh.
to explain. It's very down to earth. You have these streams that are very calm, and usually like you have a very calm voice first of all,
Thank you.
and your content is, I would say, soothing. Which is
I hope
really
so.
nice, because it doesn't have to be like screamy and crazy like I do sometimes.
I love your stuff, by the way, though.
uh,
Um,
yep.
but yeah, it was my goal to make it a place where people can just relax and rest. From the very beginning, I thought, okay, what would be something that I would enjoy and what would be therapeutic for me as well? So it just came naturally, I think.
And I think that's why a lot of people appreciate it. And I think that's the secret to a lot of success and happiness on Twitch, to find who you are and what you want to create and who you want to be
Oh yeah, that's a journey.
in that journey. We got to talk about that, how to like yeah, your self-image, how to find yourself, and a lot of stuff like yeah. We're gonna and I we're gonna start and I think that most people would describe as like a very dark place, or a very tragic thing that has happened to you in your life, and it concerns the loss of near ones, dear ones, loved ones. So I know that you lost your mother, your dad, and your older sister.
Yes.
Is that correct?
Yes.
So that is like, even just losing like someone close to you, it doesn't even have to be in the your own family, can be such a traumatic thing to happen. And then to hear that you have lost more than one can feel so overwhelming, just to like how it's hard to even imagine how you go through anything like that. So like how, and you talked about this before, and you say it's and I don't know what question to ask, but because there's so much, but like how is it like when I talk about this? What do you feel or think about when I just describe it like I just did?
Well, since quite a lot of years passed, it's a little bit lighter, to be honest, and I can speak about these things in perspective. I realized that many things have shifted in my life because of those things, and my thinking shifted, and the way I express love to people has shifted immensely. But I really take those experiences, tragic as they were, a stepping stone for things that are great, because I've learned a lot. It's really weird to say, but sometimes you learn from people more when they are gone than when they're just there.
Wow.
Because you try to remember, you actually try to remember what they were like, what they were thinking, how they would express their values, what they would create, what they would love, So
yeah, those are,
it's different.
and maybe when you still have those people in your life, you don't think about it as hard because it's
Yes.
not an emergency. Like
Yes.
it's not something that they're still there and you just experience
Mhm.
them. But when they're gone, you try even harder to keep them alive in your heart, and you like
Definitely.
think about it more. Yeah.
Whenever I need to make a decision, for example, or whenever I make a project, create art, I think about them because my parents were artists. My older sister, she was creating puppets. That's where I learned it from. And whenever I do stuff like that, I think about those people and what decisions they would make, what they could probably suggest, you know. So yeah.
So that in that way they are alive
Yes,
in your life, in your decisions, in the things that you do, and they kind of help still shaping your life and your decisions. And
definitely.
that is beautiful. That is beautiful. I think that is a kind of love that, you know, really goes beyond all the borders of like, and it's
Definitely.
like it goes beyond rationality and logic and stuff like that. It's very
I
just
think that's what religions actually describe as eternal life.
right, the love that goes beyond just, you know,
Yes.
the time that we spend here, just, and yeah, yeah. Oh, I don't know how to, I don't know, it's this is so, it's so, oh, I feel it in my heart. And I know, like, I relate to this topic so much as well. um and I think everyone can in some way. We all
Mm,
lost people that we care about. uh and you said, oh, there was something. Oh, you said it changed the way you show love and affection for other people, and you are a
yes.
very like affectionate person, and you
Mhm.
don't wait to show your affection. You don't
That's true.
wait until like, oh, now I have to tell someone that I like them. You give hugs and you give love like as
um,
soon as you appear in a space. um
well, I wasn't like that before. I definitely wasn't. And things like that definitely make you realize that you have a limited amount on this earth.
mm,
And you have to act the way you want to, the way you want others to act around you, and also make this relaxing space for everybody so that people could open up, some amazing things could happen, you know. It definitely changes everything. But before I wasn't like that. I was actually quite serious and collected, and yeah. It's
right.
very different now.
So yeah, and you said like something that can be so, at first glance, so dark and traumatic,
Mhm.
can be the things that help us move so much closer to light and happiness.
Yeah,
How did that
because
happen? Did that happen?
mhm.
Was that a long journey? Was
Oh
there a
yeah.
long period of darkness before that happened, or like, or
I
has it
wouldn't
been?
say darkness, but it was definitely a blur.
Yeah.
I lived in like a fog for years,
Mm.
to be honest. But what I realized that if I keep addressing these things as tragedy or as this darkness, then it will never leave. It just won't. And I have to live my life somehow.
Mm.
And then I started connecting with people. I started finding some hobbies. Gaming actually really helped me through all of this. And if I stayed there in that blur, in that fog, then nothing would change. But there was this, you know, because I understood things that, okay, now I have to love deeper and faster and um, do something with my life, that will kind of pushed me out of that. It's still very heavy sometimes, and it's difficult at times, especially in some special events in my life. But it's very, very different than it was years ago.
So you're talking about something there, like how we define
Mm-hmm.
an event in life changes how we feel about it, and also like if you
In the long term.
Yeah, in the long term. And if we hold on to, and I think I do this a lot too, I hold on to a negative concept because it could be like if something bad happened to me, I feel hurt, and then I hold on to, I get stuck in that definition of what happened. And the only way to actually heal or like move on is to redefine it. And you said that's what you had to do in order to move on.
I'm still doing that.
Still doing that. Yeah. So how do you define a tragedy in a good way to help you live your life in a better way? Like how do you describe it now instead?
Lessons of love.
Lessons of love.
Because when you think that people are immortal and they're just there in your life, you don't show that much of love.
Right.
You have your arguments, you have your daily life, you sometimes forget, you know? But with all of that happening, it makes you wanna do that more and show that more.
So instead of the loss of someone you love, it's a lesson of love.
Yes.
It's the same thing that happened, but when you put those words on it, it becomes something completely different.
Yeah.
And it's really, it takes courage to do that, and time and friends and tea, chocolate maybe. Like,
oh my god. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you said the gaming has helped you. What other things have helped you?
Friends, of course. I had a lot of anxiety and I had some panic attacks starting when I was a teenager. So my friends really helped me. Books, definitely, because it's a very good runaway from your daily life and your daily thoughts, and also expands your mind. Also various activities, because since my parents were both artists and my sister made puppets, little by little I started doing those things as well. I knew that I had this also very weird feeling that I need to do those things at the same level as they did. So I developed that annoying voice in the back of my head that says that I'm not good enough. Oh my god. Okay, I need to. How do I?
For those of you who don't know what happened, Aisute got a follower. So thank you, Lian, for following Aisute's Twitch channel. And you can find it over at twitch.tv/Aisute.
Oh my god, how do I turn those off?
AISUTE. Go follow now. That's fine.
Pro streamer, I don't know how to turn the alerts off.
No, that's fine. We didn't have any audio come through here, and it was just the visual. So if you
I had that annoying voice in the back of my head, but then I think only this year I started to actually feel comfortable that I can be different and still do those things and enjoy them and have those people in my heart together while doing them without that self-judgment. So yeah.
So I was a little bit distracted too now because of the thing. But we're talking about puppets and making puppets,
Mm-hmm.
and your sister made puppets,
Yes.
and then and you felt like you had to be as good as them.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's how you judged
Because
yourself. You
yeah, I do have this weird feeling sometimes where if I don't do things as well as my family members did, that is not even the point of doing that. But it's not true. It's actually not true, and I realize that. But there's this feeling, you know. So
so how does it
still
feel?
fighting that.
Okay, so you're still fighting even now,
Mm.
but you still feel excited about making puppets now.
Mm-hmm.
Is it because? Why do you think it's happening now? Like, why are you excited about it now?
Because I realized that actually my Twitch platform can benefit in this area, because I can actually show something creative and people can enjoy it. And maybe something amazing will happen because of that. Who knows? But I was really scared at some point to show these things, because creating something on stream is quite nerving. People are watching your creative process.
Yeah,
It's difficult to do that.
yeah. Because I imagine like before Twitch, like all you had to care about was the creative process,
Yeah.
and
And if
now
you fail, you fail. Nobody sees that.
exactly, you're not exposed, and you don't
Yeah.
have to interact with people at the same time so much. It's just you and the
Mm-hmm.
creative process. And then
Yeah.
when you're a streamer, you are in front of a camera, you're talking to people at the same time, you're doing all these things. So it's like, how do you put your heart and soul into your creative work when you're like distracted as well? It's a balance, but it's also like the Twitch and all the viewers and the community can also fuel and like give energy to your creative
Yes,
process as well.
definitely.
And I think that's where the magic can happen. It's almost
Exactly.
it's almost
It
like
it really brings me a lot of joy when other people are excited about what I do as well. And it's starting to reshape the way I think about it as well. And it's normal, I think, because we all have these connections to other people, and we do shape how we all interact,
yeah.
even with ourselves. So yeah, it definitely changes that, because I see people getting excited, and I get more excited, you know. So yeah.
And I just gotta say, I saw this clip the other day of the puppet that you made for a Dark Crystal competition,
Yeah.
and it was amazing. It was so like when you can hold it, so it looks like it's like talking or
Oh, that
moving. And
that one is actually not for the competition. That
oh,
one
really?
was just for myself. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, that one was just for myself. I was trying the new technique out because I wanted to
Oh,
make a needle felting texture on the foam. So yeah, I can show that puppet now if you want.
yeah. And for those of you who are listening, I'm really sorry. We'll try to explain what's going on.
And Leon, Last Unicorn actually has a lot of influence. So yeah, a little similar. Okay, so here we have a puppet.
Is so adorable. It has like it. I don't know. It looks like a grandma, but it's a
Yes, it is a
creature.
grandma. It is a
It is a
grandma.
grandma, but it's like a creature with a big snout kind of thing. But it's not like a long snout. It's just like a very rounded, like when you see
Mm.
two nostrils, and you got big eyes and very like very big. It looks very harmless, but you would find this in a fantasy like story, like on your way
Yeah.
like through the woods in a little hut, and she would like invite you in for tea and then maybe eat you. Or not.
Maybe.
Or not. We don't know yet. We don't know yet. But that is incredible. It's and then when you show this on stream, what was the reaction from the puppet? Well, how did people react?
um You know, when you see someone burst with joy, with that childish joy, when something happens that reminds them of that? It was like that. You see a bunch of kids in the chat instantly. But that's the beauty of puppetry, actually. People instantly become those open-hearted, joyous kids when they see a puppet.
Oh yeah, I know what you talk about now. And it's exactly what happens when you bring in a puppy into a room.
Same thing, yes.
and uh, and even the most hard, like serious old man will like become this. Start playing with the dog, but puppets can be that help us connect with our like the soft sides of ourselves, and like the playfulness and joy and like creativeness of life again. Yeah. So that's really cool, and I'm really excited. I'm really excited about that. And I think we're starting to talk a little bit about community now, and how your community reacted, and what that you think this can be a good thing for the community, like sharing the creative process of the puppets, which I think is really cool. And I know that you're excited about community. So
yes, I am.
So like, tell me about why are you excited about community? Like, what does it mean to you?
Well, I came to Twitch basically for that. I came to find my group of people that I could share the things that I enjoy with. At first, I thought that it will be just about video games. But it turns out that it's about a lot of stuff. And I'm excited about community because the people who are becoming friends or are already friends, I didn't expect to find such amazing friends. Honestly, I didn't expect this. And it's a little bit a shock to the system. And at first, it was a little overwhelming, even.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to make everything, to make sure that I won't disappoint, and stuff like that. But now that I had a little break of streaming because I had this overwhelming feeling and was tired all the time, and lots of things happened. But when I came back, and during that time when I was away, we still talked on Discord practically every day. And I realized that, okay, this is not about me, actually. This is about all of us. And if I think about it that way, then it's just like inviting your friends to your living room and just, watching a movie or something. So, yeah. It's this cozy group of people.
Were you overwhelmed because you felt the pressure that it was about you and what you had to do and what
I
you
felt the pressure on myself that I have to do something extraordinary for them to stay.
Yeah. Oh man.
Something like that. But it's actually not about that. It's all about connection. It's all about those human feelings and human interactions that are very simple, actually.
So, oh man, I relate to this so much because I'm nervous and anxious about not being, good enough or funny enough or interesting enough, and that if I don't perform, people will leave me, or like I will or yeah, my stream will disappear into nothing if I'm not extraordinary, just like you said.
But here's the thing, can I say something to you?
I mean, yeah,
it's not about being extraordinary. It's all about love. People really need love. That's it. That's the theme of today, I think.
Nice. I like it. And I believe you, and I think it's true because I've been having like this a little bit of stream crisis where I'm like, I haven't been able to stream as much, so I was worried like that this, the stream will disappear. But and then I really just wanted to feel loved, or be a part of a community with like where people care about each other. And when I went live and I didn't try to be extraordinary and people still stayed and still liked me, then
thank you so much for the follow.
Yeah. Then I was like so happy. That's really like, oh, people still like me even if I don't try to be extraordinary, or like,
See,
people
that's
still
the
stick
point.
around.
Those connections. It doesn't. Everything else is just everything else. It comes and goes in waves, But that basic connection, if you make that happen, it's everything.
And how do you make that happen?
Time with people.
Yeah.
And also being aware of people, noticing things, I think. And also being aware of yourself as well.
Right.
Like, if you're feeling down, go into your Discord and say, guys, I feel down. Let's do something. Let's chat, or I don't know, anything.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think it's when we kind of find ourselves and like we start to care about ourselves, like, oh, I'm actually not feeling well, and you ask for help, or you invite people to just be where you are, invite them to the space you are in right now, even if it's not a happy state. Just sharing it with people will make it will make love flow, which is
Yes.
like, and that connection happen, and that's
Definitely.
a positive thing. So feeling really sad or down can be a call, like, for love, like if you think about being sad as the first step to finding love, instead of, oh, I'm sad, oh no, my life is terrible, oh no, it's not going where I want to, I'm just gonna hide, and then yes, it just goes in spiral. But if maybe we can redefine the way, those, like, just moments where we feel down into something more positive.
I think we discovered something here.
We discovered something. I think it's hard for me, like, even asking for help, or like sharing with my friends on in my community, when I've done it more now, I think, but it's like it becomes like this announcement in a blog post, like I turn it into content almost, instead of just saying I'm down, I feel crap, I want to talk about mental health.
But here's the thing, it's difficult for everybody to ask for help. And if you found a way that is working for you now, it's still good. Even though it might be a little bit different, but you are still doing something about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
It can develop into something else later. You don't know.
Exactly. It's kind of weird that that I feel that way, that I'm like insecure about sharing some negative feelings, or things that I'm not like things that I feel will like just make other people's lives worse, or it will somehow affect, I guess, how people think of me and how they look at me. And that's when
I know why you feel that way.
I'm not sure right now. Tell me.
I know why you feel that way, because since you've created this Twitch channel to be all about positivity, all about lightness, all about fun, You know, it tends to get a little bit difficult to talk about your own hardships.
Right.
But actually, all of those positive things, they are built on what you've experienced and what you want to others to feel more of, you know?
Yeah.
So you don't have to hide what you experienced in order for it to be still light and happy and full of joy, you know?
They can be turned into lessons of love.
Yeah.
The experiences.
Yes.
Yeah. And I know that, and I really don't want it to turn into like a forced positivity kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I like when people talk about really like maybe sad things that happen to them in chat. Like I think that's really, it's good, and that's important that we really can share those things, because otherwise we're not sharing like our humanness, are just
Mm-hmm.
like what is actually going on under the surface. And everyone has those moments, like, or just feelings that goes up and down. And sometimes, but it can all be like, if we share it, it all becomes like, can help to build a positive community, even if it's a bad thing. I really, yeah, I understand that. Yeah.
It's just the fear of opening up, and it happens to all of us. If you want to open up, you just have to step over it, I think.
I've seen,
At
yeah,
some point.
you have to like become aware of that moment where you
Mm-hmm.
feel down or sad or something, and you feel afraid of sharing it, and like, oh, this is, now I have this choice.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm at this crossroad again. So which way, which road do I want to go down this time? Like, I've tried that left road many times. It
Yeah.
usually leads to this and that. And then, I could try the right road this time. It's not gonna, yeah. It's very simple and easy, like you say. It's very simple and easy. So, describe your community. What is a community to you? Like,
Oh
what
my
is
God.
your community? What is it?
My community is a variety of extremely different people who are connected by this one really deep need of belonging, I think. Because everyone wants to share love and everyone wants to get love, something like that.
Yeah, it was maybe a difficult question to ask. I'm not sure.
It is a difficult question. But yeah, everyone is really, really different, and with very different choices in life and very different tastes. But I think the core values are the same.
Yeah.
That's, I guess, is the core of every community, the core values.
Yeah. And you're doing a really good job of, trying to be honest and sincere about what you're making and doing, and it's inspirational. And I'm always excited about how we stream in different ways, we all have our very own like ways of doing it.
Oh yeah.
And it's like they're so different, but there's something that unites us.
Oh yeah, it leads to the same thing. It leads to what we want to change how people feel. Before they come to stream, they felt maybe tired or angry or something like that. And if we change that in some way, make them smile or just relax,
Yeah.
I think this is the thing that unites us all.
Yeah. We just want to put a smile on people's faces.
Yeah.
if possible.
If possible, yeah.
And it starts with doing something that you love and doing something that you are excited about as well.
Definitely. I mean, if you wouldn't be excited about what you do on stream, I don't think that anyone would feel that.
Yeah. It's just like, yeah, you share who you are and you share your excitement. Yeah. A lot of people in chat saying that you created a very nice space with your community.
Thank you, guys.
And Big Cute Fluffy Panda says, people love me. I'm black, white, Asian. I destroy racism at once. So that's, we're getting some really good feedback. It's really nice to see that, the community is active and they're loving it. And we talked about community, making puppets, and how to define tragedy as lessons of love. Wow. That's pretty big.
Deep stuff.
Yeah, deep stuff. So, yeah. Do you want to...
No.
And Gnome is here with us in chat. Hello, Gnome. It's good to have you here as well. It's good to have everyone here. And we're just having this little morning podcast with Aisute, streamer over at Aisute on Twitch. I don't know how. Yeah, Twitch. Yeah. Well, if you're in the chat, you can follow the link. And we're talking about life and many different things. So how are you feeling right now, Aisute? Are you good?
I'm good. How are you feeling?
Yeah, I'm good. Yeah. What do you think we should talk about next? What do you feel like talking about?
Let's talk about games.
Games
that help us.
Oh, that helps us? Yeah. Okay. Sure. I like it.
Is there a game that helped you? I think you mentioned something on your streams.
I do. I have like one example. Like I think it's the biggest one for me, which is Final Fantasy 14. Yeah. Is that the one that you thought about?
Yes.
Yeah. So for me, I also lost a family member, and it was very sudden, and it was kind of, then just perceived as a bad thing. It hadn't turned into a lesson of love yet. And I was just...
Don't worry about that. It takes time.
No, yeah. No, it didn't. It turned into a lesson of love now. But it hadn't then. Back then, it still hadn't turned into it. And that's when I really, played a lot of Final Fantasy 14, the MMO. And I just kind of used it as a blanket to wrap myself in and comfort me, really. I never engaged so deeply in a game and really let it carry me. It was yeah, I never experienced that before, and it was really it's really cool. I didn't know that could happen almost.
I can see how that game can actually do that, because it really has this relaxing atmosphere.
Yeah.
Even though there are battles going on and all that stuff, but it still has this comforting feeling about it.
Music.
So I really
music
understand
is so
that.
beautiful.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and it's cute. It's like it's more pleasing than World of Warcraft to look at. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, all World of Warcraft fans out there. I love you. I love your game too.
It is more pleasing. I have to agree.
I like the aesthetic. To me, the aesthetics of that game was also, comforting in some way.
Yes.
And the characters and the worlds, together with the music, and then also, finding friends. Just, me randomly walking through the world and stumbling upon people that I could team up with and then become part of their guild and then start talk to on Discord. And that whole experience was really important for me at that specific time, and I'm really glad that I had. It's so weird. You just pick a server, you know. I didn't know which server to pick or like who I would find. If I picked another server, I would have a different experience because I would meet different people, but it would hopefully still be positive, I think. Because I think if you're searching for you will, I think you will find what you're searching for, but
Yes.
you will find it in different ways, but you will always find it in some way. So tell me, Aisute, what's a game that helped you?
For me, there are two games that really have the same effect. Final Fantasy VIII. So still the same. Still the same.
Same game.
Yeah.
Kind
yeah.
no,
Same game.
almost series.
And Journey. So Final Fantasy VIII, I played when I was around 16 years old, and I discovered it completely by accident on a games magazine in a demo disc.
Oh.
And I showed that to my cousin, and we played that through Christmas time, and it was extremely different from anything else I've experienced before. And it immersed me the minute I started the game.
Yeah.
And the same spring, since it was my birthday, I asked my dad to buy it for me, and it was really expensive because 5 discs.
Yeah.
So it was around 100 litas at the time. We had litas.
Yeah.
And oh my God. Yeah. He was not happy about it, but he still bought it for me. And I'm forever grateful for that experience because it really it changed the whole year for me. I had this backup in my head of guardian forces if I feel down or vulnerable, or if I have to face something. I have this in my head. Shiva appears and something happens.
Yeah.
And she protects me. It might sound weird and cheesy, but it actually worked. And to overcome some struggles in the game meant that I can overcome some struggles in life. So yeah.
It was empowering for you, and it was like it
definitely.
takes a little bit of like you really have to let go of some serious. You got to be a little bit, have a creative mind and playfulness to imagine things in a game in your real life and how they can help you in real life. But when you immerse yourself in a game so much, it becomes natural.
Yes.
Right, that you like borrow from the game, and those experiences you are so engaged in the game, so they become real for you.
Yeah.
And
definitely they are real.
And they are real. Like when you read a book or when you look at nature and something moves you or something makes you laugh, it's a real experience.
Yes.
No matter where it is. And it's cool because games are so specifically about overcoming obstacles over and over again. So it can become very applicable on life. Life is very much like, facing new obstacles all the time. So if we can borrow some of the, the power and the inspiration we get from video games and the lessons we get, it can really help us. But and we don't always think about that. I don't think about that when I play games all the time. But
I sometimes choose a game if I realize that I need something. For example, with Journey, after I played Journey, I realized that this could be some form of therapy for me.
Yeah.
Because Journey really calmed me down and helped me find my peace at that time. And I think sometimes I make a conscious choice of playing a specific game just to face something that I have that that I have within me at that time that I need to face.
Right.
But I don't want to work through that. But through the game, I kind of address it, you know?
Yeah. That's really cool. So if you're like, oh, I need to send a work application, I gotta play Tetris now. No, wait, that's not that's not how. But like, that's a really bad example. But I get what you mean.
Yeah.
And it's really cool that do you have an example of anything that you did like that with? Or I know maybe it's difficult to think of, but what kind of situation?
Actually, no. There is an example. There was this time when I terribly missed some parts of my childhood. And I played this game on stream called Brothers, The Tale of Two Sons, and it was extremely emotional. But I honestly get what I wanted because it had the sense of the books from Astrid Lindgren.
Oh, yeah.
It had the sense of that childish wonder, that fantastic land.
Yeah.
And I got that nostalgia even though the game wasn't really built on that.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Brothers, the Swedish, made by the Swedish.
It's an amazing game.
Yeah.
Honestly.
I played it
Go
too.
play it, everyone.
It's cool. And it's also like just how you... okay, now I'm just going to talk about the controller now. Like how you control it. But did you play with a controller?
Yes.
Yeah. And
you have to play it with a controller.
You have to play with a controller, not a key. Well, it's much better on the controller because you have two brothers and each stick on the controller it controls one of the brothers. So you control them at the same time. And that's just kind of cool.
It's mind-boggling how everything works, but it works.
Yeah, and at first it's so awkward. Like you never control two characters. You usually don't control two characters at the same time in a video game, but here it works really well. And it's kind of like simple tasks in the beginning, and then it becomes more and more advanced. But you kind of grow with the game, and you become more. You can become better at it as you go. It has like a kind of like a solemnness to it. The story is kind of like solemn. You could say like a melancholia almost, but it's also...
God, I cried so much.
Yeah, but it's also like a beautiful journey.
Yeah.
It's also a beautiful journey. So it's like, it's moving in that way. Yeah. I like that game too. Although I don't know. It's difficult for me to cry now over a game. It's like, I don't know. I don't know if it's because I don't know if I'm bad at just like immersing myself in the games, or if I'm just, I've been through so much now in real life that it's like, well, I have a hard time.
Maybe you're just very aware of the camera.
Maybe. But I think even if maybe. But I also no, it's not just when there's a camera. Maybe I guard my emotions, even all the time. Like
it could be.
I think I don't really let them flow freely. Gotta be cool.
Mine overtake everything all the time.
Yeah.
It's horrible.
Gotta stay positive. Better not cry. Okay, so we talked about Final Fantasy 14, Final Fantasy 8. Do you want to... yeah. No, okay, and then Journey. And Brothers. Yeah. It's... Well, are there any games that you're excited to play now in the near future?
Oh my God, yes. I'm very, very, very on the tip of my chair for Sable, Papetura, New Doom, these three probably most.
Okay.
I'm really waiting for them to come out.
I don't know any of those games. Can you give us like a quick, brief explanation of each game? Like give them a little sales pitch.
So Sable is an indie game. I'm still not sure how the gameplay would look, but the way it looks from the art point of view, it really reminds you of Mobius, if you know that old French
Oh,
comic book
I
series.
know it.
So yeah, so the art is absolutely amazing. The animation is fantastic. The music, the atmosphere that is built in that game, as I see it now from the trailers, is just stunning. So
Describe
yeah,
it in
this
some
one.
way. Like, is it colorful? Is it dark? Is it like?
It's sort of neon pastel colors,
Mhm.
and it's all very in the desert, and there's a lot of riding around on your sort of like a motorcycle, something like that, like a vehicle like that. So yeah,
Cool, cool. And
it looks very freeing, I think.
what? And the name of the game was
Sable.
Sable.
Mhm.
Okay, okay. And the other games?
Other game is called Papetura. Papetura is a game that is developed by an artist who makes every single piece of that game art from paper. So everything is from paper. The
Oh,
characters, the environment, everything. So yeah, and it probably will be something similar
oh
to
yeah.
Machinarium, which is a point-click puzzle game.
Right.
At least it looks like. But yeah, I'm more excited about how it looks and how it was made. So yeah, this one, and of course the new Doom. I'm really waiting for that.
The new Doom. When is it
Yeah.
coming out? I haven't heard about it.
March.
In March? Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. So those are three games. Three games to be excited about from Aisute. That's cool. Um, I I can only think about one game right now that I'm excited about, and I've been waiting for it so long, and I don't know why. I know why. I know exactly why. It was one of those other games that I was really like wrapping myself like I wrapped it around myself like a blanket. And Ori and the Blind Forest was just
Oh yeah.
such a nice experience for me. And it was also like the challenges in that game got me excited and my heart pumping, and and the story moved me, and it was I felt excellent, and I failed in that game spectacularly. And it was like, it was so weird that I felt so alive playing Ori and the Blind Forest. But and that's just why I'm so excited about the next game. And I don't know,
Oh
I feel
yeah.
like it should have been out a year or two ago, but it just never comes out. I think it's coming out next year in the spring. I'm not sure, but Ori and the Willow of the Wisp.
Wisp. Yeah.
Yeah. Uh, like I feel like there's so many games that I don't have time to play, and I don't have or wait, no, redefine. I don't take the time to really immerse myself like I've done with those games. And I think I miss it, and I'm also like don't really, I'm scared to take the time as well because I want to do so many things, and I don't know how to. I don't really know how to do it, but yeah.
But hey, this is exciting. There's an opportunity for choice.
Yay! Crossroads. I'm gonna take left again. No, I'm just kidding. That's so depressing. No. So same old road down lefty road.
Sweetie, I know what you're talking about. I'm doing the same things all over again, all the time.
Isn't it weird? Like we know what's bad for us, and then we just grab it and we hold it up like a trophy, like yay!
People get used to.
I'm gonna take.
People get used to even to bad things. That's
Yeah.
the weirdest part. We get used to feeling miserable as well. It's cozy there. We understand it.
We understand.
We know
It's
it.
home. It's like when
Oh
you
my God.
decorate your. It's like you decorate your room in the darkest, creepiest, cold, uncomfortable way, and you're like, yeah, this is my home. This is my home. I want it this way. But like you could clean it, you could make it more cozy, but we are it takes time to change stuff if you are used to a certain thing.
And sometimes it takes another person to actually bring in a little light. So
it takes a what?
Another person to bring
person.
in some light into your room.
And maybe just come into your room and be like, holy heck. What is what?
Here's the thing.
Do you see?
You know how people say be your own best friend?
Right.
It doesn't mean just be kind to yourself and always comfort yourself. It also means kick yourself in the butt.
Right. That's a good one. Good friends kick each other in the butts all the time, and they like it. No way. I mean, it's helpful. I know exactly what you mean. Because sometimes we need that kick in the butt in a loving way, and not just patting on the head like it's okay. Sometimes we need that little to get us moving. That's also like that's also love, and it doesn't always feel like love. You know when you get tough love, and it feels like someone is trying to hurt you. But actually, it's exactly what you need. That's what you get in friendships and good relationships. You get like you are pushed to a point where you can choose again how to act, and maybe you can choose. Like, I'm gonna give an example instead. Like, a good friend of mine asked me a question the other day that made me feel really uncomfortable. It made me feel like, because it felt like I started to feel uncertain about myself. It was about like how I was planning my future. And I started to judge myself. I started to feel insecure if I am making the right choices. And my friend, just, to them, it felt like I was like, reacting in such a weird way. They felt bad for even asking the question. They felt like they attacked me, and I was like defending myself. But I was just, and that question came from love and curiosity, and it was just my response that was so trapped in my own insecurity. But it was I can choose to become, raise myself up, and instead of reacting with like fear and insecurity, I can react with confidence and openness, and admit my insecurity and talk about that, and then share what I think about the future.
I think it's a normal way. I also react in defensive ways all the time. But then when you actually step back and reevaluate the situation you were in when you were talking to that friend, you start to realize that that person could probably see things more logically from where they are standing. And they can actually help out.
Yeah.
And it's sometimes difficult. Well, often it's difficult. But you have to try, I guess, to at least try their way. Maybe.
Try to see it from their perspective. Yeah, and that can really help you out. Yeah, it's so funny in the way I discover like my own reactions in new ways recently, where I like, I don't want to let what someone else say or do affect me this way. I don't want to be the victim of what other people do or say to me. I want to be the the creator of what, like, positive feelings. Like, I don't want to react, I don't want to create misery for myself, but I do when I react with fear or insecurity instead of openness and like something else. But it's just, I guess it's just how we grew up and how we are used to think about ourselves. Self-judgment is a common thing.
Very true.
Even like streaming on Twitch is like a perfect place to compare yourself and feel bad about yourself.
Oh yeah,
if you want to. If you want to
there
feel
are
bad
a million opportunities for that.
Oh, like everywhere you turn nowadays, there's a social media where you can feel bad about yourself for it.
Yeah.
But like, how have you, what kind of like struggles have you had, like on Twitch maybe recently, or like did you have anything like that you struggle with emotionally, or that's been hard, that came up because of streaming, because you were like thinking about yourself as a streamer? And
well, the thing that we talked before, like thinking that I have to do something extraordinary, this sort of pressure from inside, definitely, because you see someone, taking more time to do something more creative, for example, with their streams, or just in general, like other artists, they just spend more time doing that. And yes, they are better at the technical things that you also want to create, but you just don't spend that much time. And instead of feeling bad about yourself not spending that much time, you just have to spend time. So yeah, the most difficult part, I think, for me to this day is watching someone else draw on stream. Because for me, it's super difficult to draw things on stream. It's super scary. So yeah, I envy that. I honestly envy that.
But you draw on stream. You tried it
Yeah,
a few
I've
times,
tried it a
right?
few times.
And it was really scary, or like?
Oh my god, I see all my mistakes.
Oh.
I see all my mistakes, and I cannot rewatch those streams, and I cannot clip or highlight or do anything.
Oh, it's that bad, because you know what the viewers see? They see someone who's talented, who's like still gentle and calm.
I understand
and
the
positive.
difference.
Yeah.
I do understand the difference, but in my heart, I honestly feel this. It's ridiculous.
So yeah. So that you need a game where you can practice this, face this fear.
I really liked, though, when one of my friends streamed those party games where you can, I think it was Drawful.
Right. Yeah.
Or something like that, and where you can just doodle whatever, and it will be fine.
Yeah, exactly.
And some people will get it, and some won't.
Yeah.
So I really enjoyed that one, where I don't have to be good.
Takes the edge off, like it's more about having fun. But yeah, it's so weird how we sometimes, for some, like we can be fine in one area and like not judge ourselves, and then like when we do this, we like boom, bring out the big hammer on ourselves and like completely like smack ourselves in the head.
And also there's one more thing that I struggle on Twitch. Since there's a community of people and we have so many friends who stream, it's impossible to be everywhere.
Yeah. You can't.
This is such a.
We're going live at the same times. We're like, we.
It is a struggle. It really is.
One thing though, like you can, and I know we do this. Like it means a lot to me when I stream and someone just comes in and say hi, even if they can't stay. It means a lot.
Same.
Still. Yeah, it really means a lot. And it was I don't know, this is not maybe really related, but it was so cool, like the other day when there was a person that I never seen writing in my chat before, and they came out of the shadows, from the lurking shadows after so long time, like I don't know, months, and like hi, I've been lurking for forever. I really like what you do, and that's like wow. That somehow that is so it makes you feel so good because they've been enjoying, you know, what being a part of your community, even if they haven't been active and talking to you. So that I didn't know I was like they were there, but they still felt a part of it and enjoyed it, and that's really cool. I'm really excited about TwitchCon next year. We're gonna finally see each other.
Oh my God.
And we can do a high five. I'm
gonna
a
hug you so much.
Yeah, a big hug, and that's gonna be amazing. So many people want to come out and see each other for TwitchCon in Amsterdam, and we should do like a podcast at TwitchCon, just a few people.
That would be interesting.
like 3 or 4 people. Oh my God, that would be chaotic. I'm excited for that. Yeah, I think we're getting towards the end of this podcast. I think so.
Because we talked about a lot of things.
We talked a lot about a lot of things. We even missed a few topics that we had as ideas, but that's good because that means we have more to talk about the next time.
Yes.
And I really want to have you on the podcast again in a year or so.
That would be awesome.
And see what games you've played, what puppets you've created, and see where you are in life then.
Yeah.
But I will see you the whole year.
Definitely.
In streams, in communities, maybe even in games.
Yeah, we could do something.
Yeah.
We could arrange something.
Thank you to everyone who's been hanging out, listening, talking.
Yeah, thanks guys.
Hanging out. We will end the podcast, but we will take a few minutes to just, talk to you. If you have any questions, we're going to stick around here on Twitch and answer those and just hang out with you. Have a great rest of your day. What do you want to say to everyone in the whole world, Aisute?
Oh my God. The same thing that you usually say. Treat everyone with kindness and respect. That's it.
That's good. Take care. Bye.
Bye.